Jeffrey Azan left the well-known retail family business to enter the motivational industry. He tells us why on Profile. Welcome, I'm Ian Boyne. Good to have you on the show, Jeffrey.
A pleasure to be here, good sir.
As I said in the introduction, you left the well-known Azan's business to enter the motivational industry. That is not usually the track of people like you. People like you normally stay with the family business or go into and stay into other lines of businesses, but not go into the personal transformation business. Why that change with you?
Well, the story is a very long one,
yes.
But I'm going to try and condense it for the purpose of the show. The truth is that from as young, I was always in the business. Even though on paper they'll say that I only worked in Azan's for 6 years, I say I have 18 years of retail experience. Most people do make a transfer after 18 years in any one career. And the truth is that I always declared I didn't want to work in retail.
You didn't want.
People tend to not appreciate the amount of work that goes into retail, especially the holidays. Christmas was a nightmare.
Yes.
Every Saturday you have to be there. The demands and claims and high expectations of customers. It was just a bombardment that I didn't understand or enjoy from a young age.
But what about the attraction of money? Money's in the business. Yeah, there's a lot of drudgery and, there's just a lot of routine.
And the truth is,
money is in the business.
The truth is that there was a lot of money, and I learned a lot about money and money management, financial management, financial freedom, and that is critical to what I do today, to be honest. However, money never attracted me. It was always about happiness.
I see.
And I know that a lot of people think that because I came from money, that I could say something like that. But the truth is that money, anybody can have it if you work and add enough value to the situation.
Absolutely.
A lot of people like to work and don't add value and then complain that they don't have money. Money is often reflected by the value you add.
But you are driven by purpose. And it is your view that if you fulfill your passion, the money will come anyway.
If you fulfill your passion, you'll get more than money, because when you die, you leave legacy, you don't leave money. Actually, the money that you leave, if you get insurance, will pay for a debt that nobody will get to enjoy. Yes. That's what money leaves. But the truth is that my interaction with you, my interaction with anybody, my interaction with a photographer, a smile that I give somebody, those are the things that may change a life. It will leave an impact. Somebody may one day tell somebody else, I'm alive today because I had a session with Jeffrey, and he showed me that I'm here for more than to work, pay bills, and die.
And Jeffrey, that means more to you than millions of dollars.
I give you a better one. I have students that I teach in self-defense and martial arts, and we have a grading coming up. And I told those students that if you pass your grading and I fail my grading, I still won. I've always been driven by the success of others. It is something so deep, so innate. It's the purpose-driven. And it's scary. It's scary because we all have this calling. We all have this thing inside of us that burns, that when we do something related to it, we light up, we get excited, we get so filled with emotion and joy. But a lot of us bury it daily.
Absolutely.
Because those things, I call them our priorities. Very often our priorities aren't income earners. Our income earners very often are our responsibilities.
That's true.
Our responsibilities set by society. A society that's run by
Because
money.
in your teaching you make this distinction between, or the contrast between the responsibilities and priorities. Explain that concept for us.
Well, what I explained is that many people are driven by one of two factors. We're driven by our responsibilities, or our obligation to responsibilities, or our calling of priorities, our passion of priorities. And those two things drive us in a big way. However, what does society push? It pushes the responsibilities because society creates responsibilities. And they are important. Don't ever get it confused that I'm saying responsibilities are not important. Your light bill, it's important.
Yes,
Your water bill,
yes.
it's important. The children's school fee,
Absolutely.
it's important. However, those are responsibilities. Let's use this child's school fee as an example. The child's school fee is a responsibility. The child's education is a priority. So you're paying the school fee as a responsibility in hopes that the child will get educated. However, the knowledge that they're learning is in books. These days it's on YouTube, it is in tutors, it's in sessions, it is available online. So there's 1,000 ways to achieve the priority of education. However, you fall slave to the responsibility of school fee. And we tend to live a lot of our life that way. We tend to live a lot of our life dictated by the responsibilities we have. Rather,
so you could have thought about your responsibility to continue in the family business, to carry on the family tradition of retailing, but you decided instead to fuel your passion.
Well, the truth is I actually lived by responsibility for 6 years.
Yeah, you did that.
I came back from university.
You went to Boston.
I went to Boston University.
Did business there.
Did business admin there after doing general studies. So I didn't go straight into business admin. I went into general studies, then international relations, and then business admin.
Yes.
Came back to Jamaica and sat with a mentor of mine and I said, what do I do now? Because the truth is I actually had job offers when I was in the States. I did not have to come back to Jamaica.
Home.
I had 3 job offers in the States, but my heart told me, you need to be in Jamaica, even though I wasn't sure what I was to do. And I came back to Jamaica and I sat with a mentor and I said, what do I do from here? And they said, your mother is running the family business by herself. Give her 6 months. Well, 6 months turned into 6 years. So I am a prime example of living according to responsibility. The pay was okay, but I had a responsibility to make sure that my mother was as good as I could provide her.
And you were director of the company, and then you were responsible for HR?
Correct. I was responsible for HR. I dealt with a fair amount of hiring, a fair amount of firing. And I did a lot of work on the floor, making sure customer service was happening, that people's concerns were being taken care of. And so even there, I already had a calling to deal with human interaction. People were always a calling. And about 3 years into my 6 years at Azan, I met an individual, Wayne Edwards from Organo Gold. And I will be forever grateful to Wayne because Wayne unlocked this idea in me that I could shape my world. Now, Organo Gold didn't work out, but it began the ball to roll because from Organo Gold, I did Amway. From Amway, I opened a cafe with a group of partners. From the cafe, I put on a music show, Moment of Jazz. After the cafe, I went into a consultancy group called Brand Profit. From the consultancy group, I worked with a food group called Bragadaps. I did work with a branding agency, It's Pixel Perfect, all in the capacity of HR. Of human development.
HR, that was your particular
always
area.
Ended up in human development. And one day, another mentor of mine, Robert Thompson, more popularly known, Kibo, everybody call him Kibo, he said, Jeff, have you ever thought of speaking? Now, I made it to 25 at this point. I never heard of speaking as a career.
You didn't hear what
I didn't know it existed.
Industry,
This Les Brown coming down, I did not know who these people were.
Yes.
And I said, what is that? And he gave me some names. Les Brown was the first name, and I checked it out.
Zig Ziglar.
All of them. And I went and I started watching the videos and watching the videos and watching the videos. And I said,
you could do
yes, it's more than I could do this. This is what I should do.
Do it.
And I started right then and there. I was still working at Azan's despite pursuing all of those entrepreneurial ventures. And I started right there in Azan's with what we called morning talks, where every Wednesday, half hour before the store opened, we would get together as a staff and we would discuss ideas and problems we were having. And I would go and I'd think about it and I'd come back, maybe show a video clip, give a little speech, share a little quote. And we were able to communicate to each other in a way that benefited each other. And that's where what is now Select and Start birthed from. I started where I was with what I had, with the drive I had found.
And that's a general principle of life that one should apply. Start where you are. Use, from a biblical example, use what's in your hand. What was said to Moses. Jeffrey Azan, he will tell you that you'll be hearing more about him, that he will be the Les Brown and the Zig Ziglar of the future. You're watching Profile. We take our first break.